Hello and welcome back to Mayster Reviews. Now today is my brief sort of review on DC League of Super Pets. Now, if you recall correctly, when my reacts came out, I was not best impressed at the end of the trailer. And I'll be honest, I was expecting this to be dog shite. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it wasn't, surprisingly. I'm going to be completely honest, and I will admit when I'm wrong here. This movie was not bad. There's a lot of people that does think it's terrible. To be honest, I can completely understand if you think that it is. But the perfect word for this is watchable. It was very watchable. There were very few times, if at all, where I like half rolled my eyes at it. Because the thing is, I've always had this philosophy about kids' movies, that a kids' movie should be a kids' movie, but it should also be enjoyable to the adults. It just shouldn't completely pander to kids and just be so cringy and eye-roll worthy. Like Pixar nails that to a T, where it's everyone can watch their films and enjoy them to a certain degree. And I'll be honest, this one did just that. The jokes, they were amusing. They didn't make me genuinely laugh, but they were amusing. They weren't annoying jokes, and some of them did actually land. Some of them I found quite funny that weren't spoiled in the trailers. One thing I definitely will say about this thing is, it's got one of the worst marketing campaigns I've ever seen, because the trailer for this film did not sell it in the right light at all. It's I don't know how really else they could have sold it, but it's just a better film than what was sold to people. It's for a kids movie. If you've got a kid that's into DC, I think it hits on all cylinders. It's really, honestly, one of the best kids films outside of Disney that I have seen. It genuinely does what a kids film should do, which, to be honest, I didn't think it would. This month's been incredibly dry as it is, and pretty much for the whole summer, strangely, this year in the UK with film. But I don't know why. Maybe partly because of that, I just thought this wasn't going to be very strong. If I had I don't know, if I was a bit older and I had a kid of my own right now, and I went to go see this to review it, and then all of a sudden they decided, all right, Dad, can you take us to go see this? Honestly, I would not complain about going to see it again. Genuinely. Because like I say, it's popcorn fodder. I should really start calling it that instead of popcorn movie. It's popcorn fodder, the movie, but it's actually watchable. Like, I genuinely wouldn't mind sitting through that again. I genuinely wouldn't if someone desperately wanted to see it, especially someone younger. So, with that in mind, honestly, I do recommend it for young ones. If you're looking for something to do, I genuinely do recommend it, because it's quite a great time actually, for a young audience, and for the general audience as a whole. It's honestly watchable, genuinely. As in, I mean, again, I'm not telling you to go see it, but if you have a free hour or two and you literally have nothing else to do, it's bearable, genuinely. I will say that, and I'll stick to it. So yeah, that's my review of DC's League of Super Pets. But one last thing in spoiler territory. I think the best part of this film was a particular scene, and it's a flashback sequence involving Ace. And the second it got up to it, I had a feeling it was going to be all right. They're going to pull a Jesse from Toy Story 2. And they did the flashback sequence about his previous owners. And honestly, it was some of the best visual storytelling I've ever seen in a kids' movie. And we're in a world where Disney and Pixar exist. It was just so shocking. And I'm not joking. It was actually quite emotive. And I was just sat there like, wow, I was not expecting to feel like that in this movie. And the song choice and everything itself doesn't exactly make you feel all that sad, but just the way it's handled and everything and the animation and all working well together it was a it was a massive change of pace for the rest of the film. It was really quite an emotional moment. And from looking at the marketing campaign, it's not a single. I'm genuinely any emotional beats or second act downfall where the hero's got to save themselves, well, they've got to heal their flaws and they've got to save the day. Yeah, of course there's going to be act 2 downfall scenes in the talking, but when Hart is saying things like, "Oh, dogs love unconditionally," and things like that in the trailer, I'm just expecting them to be corny and forced to sort of progress the story along. It's not. I was not expecting that to hit the way it did. Best scene in the film by a far, and that is what makes it extend from watchable. That is actually a very, very well constructed scene, and yeah, and the humor hits there as well, sort of contrasting with the seriousness of it. Yeah, it was definitely the best scene in the film. So yeah, I do recommend that for your audience, and I will see you next time on Mayster Reviews. Goodbye.